Hi, young people. Well, this is I think an Arizona state trooper that ends up getting shot. Unfortunately, the body cam, they don't show, which I find it interesting. They don't show the dash cam of what happened. They only show her body cam. So this is dash cam view. Again, government always wants to push their agenda, so they cut and release and paste, or the people that want to promote government side will do a FOIA, and then they cut and paste what they want, and they push their agenda. So I can only talk about what I see. Here we go. Hang on, I got to pause it within 2 seconds because I know there'll be somebody here. You talk too much. You guys, shut up and get the hell out of here. All right. Tired of reading those damn comments of crybaby idiots. This woman is, it's female canine officer. She's stopping him because of a road rage complaint. And I think he said he threw something out of the car. And just for you hanging around, she ends up getting shot in the hand, maybe both hands, fights a dude, chases him. This guy's father shows up, etc. So it's a very long video, but I'm going to bump through a lot of it. Notice we had a nice view here, which we could have seen what happened. And somebody, either the poster or the government, decided to only give us the body cam view of the fight. Well, that happened quick. What the hell happened there? Walked out the patch side window. And boom. Through the window. So I'm not sure. She's probably got glass in her eye from this. Notice the window didn't fall out. It happened so damn quick. So why is she still standing there talking after a bullet fell through? Why didn't she have her gun out? So I know everybody's going to be like, what a great job. She stayed in the fight. She did some good things. But I'm just wondering, when a bullet comes out a window, I call that a clue. I usually go to ground fall, grab my gun, something. But she's still standing there. I don't know if that's when she's confused a lot in this video. So again, it cuts out the part so we don't see what happened. She falls back to the ground. And again, we see her legs. She fell back. I don't know how many rounds he fired, whether it was one. I don't even know if she got shot in the hand, if that was glass that cut her hand. So she returns fire. I'll give her that. Stays in a fight, multiple rounds, making sure that her backdrop was clear and that she didn't accidentally hit a mother with a kid driving by. Always concerned about field of fire, background, all the things us pesky citizens are taught. But the police, they got more training, Rick. Only they should have guns. Okay, I see how she cleared this highway. I'd hate to be driving by her. Okay, so we got multiple rounds here. We're somehow there needs to be a mile marker or something. Now, I'm not saying she should have marked it, but it would have been nice for the units to come back because they've got to find this. Remember, this is the crime scene. This is the initial scene. They have to find this. And because she traces them so far, and by the time she catches them, especially if she got killed, nobody would know except from the body cam footage. Maybe somebody would be able to pick out this background and go, I know what that looks like. I know about where that's at. But identifying the crime scene is important. Sometimes if we get in a pursuit or somebody ditches dope, a couple times I've thrown things out of my car where they ditched the dope that I could find. Either a blanket, a cup, anything I could grab that I didn't mind. If somebody ditched dope while I'm chasing them, I would throw out a marker because I don't know how long this chase is going to go, where it's at, but I want to be able to come back and find where he threw the dope and that marker that I threw out the window. So Marking your area is good. She just got shot in the hand pretty quick. I get it that she wasn't thinking about that. Why she doesn't go to the driver's side and immediately get in a pursuit, that lets the guy get farther away. I think she should have got in the driver's side and immediately went to safety, but she goes this side. She's in a panic pretty much through this whole thing. Rick, if you got shot, you had to see how you do. Oh, shut up, you freaking crybabies. I get it. I'm just telling you. Training, repetition, the ability to stay in a fight, all those things will determine how you act and how you react in a crisis. And experience. People that have been shot or been at shootings or been around shootings a lot will react much better and differently than somebody who never has and who's maybe, you know, got promoted because of a bathroom she uses or given a dog and been taken care of, and now her tactics may not be the greatest. But why would she run to the passenger side instead of getting in the car? And I don't understand why she doesn't have a portable radio. Why didn't she get on her portable radio while she's running back and then get in the car? Does she not have a portable? Rick, you can't ask that. She was shot. She's a hero. You're just picking on her. All right, whatever. Get out of here.
K98, shots fired, shots fired. White Arizona pickup truck headed westbound. Shots fired.
This damn poster of this video, I'm not even giving his channel the name because he just puts a damn ad every damn 10 seconds. It's a pain in the butt. So she goes to the driver's side and now she goes back. Well, Rick, she's just confused. I'm like, shut up, you freaking idiots. These are things that you want to try and take a breath, calm down. This is what you learn from. Shit's going to happen. Shit happens quick. You need to regroup, stay in a fight, dress your wound, make sure you don't pass out. I don't know if she checks her wound. I don't know if she understands her wound. She runs around and does a lot of things in here that are just totally sporadic and doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe she's in shock. I'm not saying she's a mean, bad person. I'm just saying these are things that you should learn from critical incidents. So again, wasted time going to this door to get on the radio, walking around, then coming back. This guy has gotten extreme. I'm surprised she caught up to him. You give me this much of a lead, I don't think you're catching me because I'm taking an exit, get behind a 18-wheeler and take, maybe there's no exits. I don't know. But she screwed around a lot here. I'm kind of surprised she was able to catch up with the guy. She's breathing hard. Her hands are shaking. That's all normal. Again, when you're taught, if you're in a shooting or high-risk situation, you need to understand that these things are going to happen. Your body's going to do things. Your sympathetic nervous system is going to create things. You're going to get adrenaline dumps. You're going to get the shakes. You're going to get tunnel vision. Your voice is going to crack. You're going to be sucking oxygen. You'll start breathing fast. All those things are normal, but you need to understand that it's normal, and it's also you can control it, and you can help it by slowing down, taking a deeper breath, staying in a fight, trying to think reasonable, trying to slow things down and get out of that fight or flight, which I don't think she does for quite a while. So they don't know her location, and she just says westbound. She gave a pretty poor location. I meant to mention that. She just kind of spurted out something.
K98, I'm in pursuit. I've been hit. In pursuit. He's eastbound on...
Eastbound or westbound? Dispatcher, I thought he said westbound.
I-40, just east of my location. White Arizona.
Nobody knows your location, so east of your location doesn't help anybody.
White Arizona.
White Arizona plate. She's trying to say, I think, a white car, but she hasn't slowed down and she's still kind of in panic. And again, she's got pain in her hand. She's bleeding. She sees the blood. I get it. You know, these people that want to come here and go, you're just picking on her. Yeah, okay. Here, let me give you guys the video who are going to come crying the video. Wow, this girl is so good. Wow, look at her. She's a hero. Man, she did everything perfect. Good job. Okay, now you can freaking leave and get out of here so I ain't got to read your dumbass comments about how I'm being mean.
Wait, white GMC, Arizona plate, passing the 131.
Okay, it's good she's getting some information out. Again, part of your training is when you're in these incidents, get some information out in case you pass out, in case you bleed out or die. I mean, it's unfortunate. Nobody wants to die. You don't want to think you're dying, but you want to get as much information out. She finally got out a white GMC. I think we can kind of interpret that a little bit, that she's chasing a white GMC. We don't know what kind of GMC. And she uses GMC instead of a, a Blazer or a car type or a 2-door or a 4-door or a truck or a car or a minivan. She hasn't slowed down to think on what she needs to get out and what she's talking. She's just breathing hard and panicking. But hey, she's staying in the fight and she's chasing a guy. I get it.
Yeah, for passing a 131 white GMC, shots fired, K98 hit, and outside 55.
Additional agencies in the area.
Yeah, for getting other agencies in the area.
I can't believe a sergeant had to say get other agencies. I mean, normally in California, if an officer puts out officer down, it's an immediately shots fired. It's an immediate code 33, clear the air, all units, and maybe it's even 1199. 1199 is where you call all outside agencies in all county. Each agency has a perimeter that when they call out on 1199, officer needs emergency assistance, it pretty much means send everybody. And I've only put out one when I was working on the base, and we had all the agencies come when we had a riot at the center on BLM night or something. And there was freaking fights and all kind of shit, and they were dragging our officers through the parking lot. So we put out 1199. We had units come out of the woodwork. CHP, Solano Sheriff, Fairfield, Vacaville PD. There were all kind of units responding. So that's what the California uses for 1199. I don't know what Arizona uses, but it sounds like they should have all units responding, blocking off highways, up and down every exit. The other thing that they have in California that most agents use was called a 666. And a 666 is if you want to lock down the city or your jurisdiction. So every jurisdiction has a plan to where if we need to lock down our jurisdiction, we put out a 666. Every county and every city has committed and signed a contract that they will take up one position of every route in and out of town. So if you have 15 different ways to get in and out of the city or county that you put the 666, every agency will go to those designated routes and they will just sit there and they will put a man there. And then we'll get a description of the vehicle or the suspect, and then nobody gets out of the town, at least with a car. And then, of course they can switch a car, or they cannot leave the city with a car, or whatever. But, I mean, that's just how we lock down areas. Arizona doesn't sound like they have that.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. So there's a lot of downtime, and she's kind of like saying ow because she's in the pain's kind of come back because the adrenaline may be going away. But she should be thinking, her training should be, I need to calm down. What was the car? Did I write down the plate? Let me make sure I have a good description. She still hasn't put out whether the guy shot her, a female shot her, whether it was a white male, black male, Hispanic male, no physical description of the person whatsoever. We've got an Arizona plate and a white something, maybe a white GMC. I don't know. I can't even tell if it was a white Arizona plate or whether it's a white GMC because we don't know that yet. But it's something to work with if this guy gets away and we start the investigation. Plus, we have the video now, which is just so much easier and so much better because we can just go back and we'll see and we'll get all that. But we'd rather catch them now. When you catch them later, they can destroy evidence. They can ditch the car. It hurts the case. When you catch them in a hot pursuit to where you didn't lose them, it's much harder for the defense to put up the defense that, well, how do you know it was my client? And didn't you lose sight of him? And didn't it take you 4 hours? And couldn't it have been somebody? It's hard to do that when you keep them in sight. You're in hot pursuit. You stay right on them and you take them into custody. So those are kind of later on issues that investigators, detectives, the DA will have to deal with.
Yeah. Do you have any driver descriptions at all?
Finally, the dispatcher. See, good dispatchers will always pull in officers that have kind of lost it, went into shock, or isn't putting out the right information. So, and every officer, I've done it before. I've gotten a pursuit, got punched, and it was fucking pissed off and running, said I'm in pursuit, white male, and just did, and then I give anything else. I was just like, my main focus, I'm going to catch this piece of shit. Well, and then the dispatcher would have to bring me in and go, 721. Can we get a better suspect description? What shirt is he wearing? And they would literally like talk me through it to make me answer questions because I was like tunnel vision. I'm going to catch this guy. I ain't saying shit. It's on now. He doesn't hit me. I don't care. so even sometimes you get locked into that tunnel vision from ego, pride, whatever, pain. And then sometimes you get locked in or thrown into that because of black zone panic. Remember the white, red, yellow, red reaction zone, and then you get into your black zone where you panic.
Single male driver.
Single male driver. Okay, I'm assuming that means there's no one else in the vehicle and he's by himself.
The windshield, I hit the windshield.
I don't think she hit the windshield. The car was driving away. She hit the back window of it. Again, she's not thinking. She's still in a panic. She's still just throwing things out. She's not thinking before she talks. Because, Rick, she's in pain. She's bleeding. Why are you picking on her? Oh, shut up.
Unsure if he's hit. I hit the back window.
Now she says she hit the back window.
Area in pursuit.
See, she keeps saying in pursuit, in pursuit. That tells me there's a training. First of all, either she hasn't been in a lot of pursuits, so she's reverting back to her training to where they teach you in pursuit, in pursuit, in pursuit. In California, we couldn't say pursuit. We just had to say failure to yield. There was some legal issue that came out to where when you say pursuit, you trigger some legal action. So we were not allowed to say pursuit on the radio in several different agencies. I don't know if all California agencies did it, but almost every agency that I work for or work with, they didn't use pursuit. They used failure to yield. I'm following and I'm going after a failure to yield. They didn't want to use pursuit for some legal issues.
In pursuit. Repeating I-40 eastbound, milepost 131.
K98. Unknown where the vehicle's at. I'm passing the 133 now. He's ahead of me.
See, I know where the vehicle's at. How does that help anybody? I'm passing a 143. He's ahead of me. Okay, that's a mile marker. That's good. But why? I mean, her description isn't, look, follow up with that description. The dispatcher should be saying, K9, if you're behind a unit, give us a better vehicle description. They should be probing for information like they do on 911 because the officer isn't thinking straight, and anybody on the radio can tell. She's kind of in a panic. She's hurt. And somebody, a supervisor, can even get on the air and go, give me a better vehicle description. K98, I need this. You might have to snap them out of it and be a dick to them. Rick, you can't. She's just been shot. She's a woman, and you have to treat her with kid gloves, and they're equal, but they got to get equal pay, but you can't treat them the same. And God, this freaking PC crap. Dead time.
We're passing 133. You lost visual of the vehicle.
See, all this dead time could be used for getting information. Dispatcher could be probing her. Do you have a better description? Do you have a height and weight? Does he have facial hair? In case we lose him, we want as much information as we can. And instead, we've got dead air with her breathing hard, just saying bits and pieces of information that really doesn't help a whole lot. I mean, she should be putting out any pursuit, any failure to yield. Anytime you're chasing somebody, you should be putting out standard things. It should be just routine, and the more you do it, the more it comes routine. A lot of cops don't get a lot of pursuits, so they don't have to develop a routine. But it's just standard. Speeds at so-and-so, following the vehicle, I'm 6 car lengths back. We're passing this exit. We're about to reach, we're passing Walmart. Give local things. Maybe there's nothing out there and there's only mile markers. Well, that's okay. As long as she yells out every freaking mile marker she passes. That way we can track. If you don't give the speed, we can kind of go back and retrace later when we're investigating it. How long did it take her from this comment where she said passing 348, and then here in the dispatch, she said she was passing 349. Now we know by the dispatch tape that it took 32 seconds. Now we're going to go out and drive this, and we'll be able to see what her speed was and how long it took her to drive that with the time on the tape. Those are all things that investigators later can help draw back. It's kind of like accident reconstruction. If you don't give permanent markers when you're doing your measuring and somebody comes back a year later and tries to reconstruct, they don't have any way to start to find one point so we can recreate the accident scene. Also, if the dispatcher would keep her talking, it would force her to breathe. It would break her concentration on the blood and on her hand, and we could be getting information. Making her talk and stay verbally engaged at this point is a good thing. And at the end, she kind of lost me when she said, "Can you call my fiance? Here's her name." I was like, oh, geez, here we go.
I believe I'm caught up with the vehicle. He's behind a semi-truck. I'm going to keep my distance until I get more units in the area.
Okay, so she tells him she caught up and she's going to keep her distance. Good. Why the hell aren't you updating the vehicle description or license plate? Rick, she was shot. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, we're behind the semi.
Oh, Lieutenant, we'll call when we can.
10-4-5-6, notify on-call lieutenant.
Oh!
Double checks also send all additional units available.
Yeah, for all checkups to all units in the D5 area. If we are to be around to I-40 eastbound milepost 131 at this time.
I can't believe, I think in a minute they finally asked for an air unit. I mean, when an officer is shot and you're chasing somebody, who, and this is usually a violent felon, and the theory is that if somebody's going to be shooting at cops, they're probably going to shoot innocent people. They don't have rules of engagement. They don't have use of force. They are much more of a danger. Well, almost. They used to be much more of a danger to cops. Now, cops don't have use of force or rules of engagement either. They just shoot and pray, so I guess that point doesn't matter.
We got shots fired. K9 hit was hit. She's pursuing a white GMC vehicle. AZ plate unknown American Alpha. 10 pounds to K98. Can you give us an updated location?
K98, we're traveling the speed limit. My lights are turned on, my rear's on, my camera is on. He's behind a semi. We're passing the 125 eastbound, doing 70 miles per hour.
Finally, she should have been saying that at every accident. Again, keeping talking, keeping her breathing, letting everybody know that she's still in it. All this dead time could be that the guy shot her. The guy ran her off the road. She crashed. She passed out. You don't want to leave somebody chasing somebody who's been shot alone and not talk to them. I mean, this is your radio. This dispatcher does a pretty shitty job. The supervisor does a pretty shitty job. And the cop does a pretty shitty job, but she gets a little bit of a pass because she's bleeding and she was shot. But I don't want to give her a complete pass like the rest of you crybabies want to do and call her a freaking hero and she did everything perfect and not try to use this as an educational and learning moment.
The plate is going to be 347
Finally.
Frank Tom Young. 347 Frank Tom Young. I believe he's going to pull over. I don't know. He's got hazards on. It looks like he's getting rifle ready or something. I'm going to keep distance.
Looks like he's getting a rifle ready or something. So she's close enough to read the plate, which for me, that's pretty close. I mean, for me to read a plate, I got to be, maybe my eyes aren't quite as good as they used to be, but I got to be within 5 to 10 car lengths to be able to read a plate. So she was able to read the plate. Then she says, I think he's getting a rifle or something. Now, I don't know if he's got a rifle in the car or not, but he ends up coming out with his hands up. Hate to be a spoiler. Sorry. Spoiler alert. Guy gives up.
Yeah, for passing the 125 70 miles per hour, looks like he's pulling over and does have hazard lights, but possibly getting armed with a rifle.
Now, when she's driving, I want you to notice that she's got pretty good dexterity. She's holding the steering wheel, she's gripping. And I know I'm going to have the idiots that want to come here and argue about minor and major muscle groups and dexterity, and if you can pull a trigger, why can't you use the slide release? And if you can pull a trigger, why can't you hit the mag? And if you can change your mag, why can't you? There's all the idiots that don't want. I'm telling you, in fight or flight, when you go into this, you get this adrenaline bump, you get the shakes, you lose fine motor skills. Anything you have to do to where you have to look and concentrate is hard. You're going to see this in a minute when she tries to rack her rifle, which I consider a large muscle group, but it's a large muscle movement, but she has problems racking her rifle. Now, part of it is, I think, the pain in her hand, but her dexterity, I can tell, is severely affected by either the adrenaline, combination of the adrenaline, the pain, and her inability to regroup and get back in a fight and think and calm down and get her breath under control, get her heart rate down, and do things that she should have been trained to do. You notice she's gripping the steering wheel, she's gripping this. Later, when things calm down and she starts getting control as she's losing her adrenaline pump, it gets different.
Fix the air support in the area.
Definitely get air support in the area.
And you notice she opened her computer screen earlier? She didn't do anything, she just opened it. Anybody know why she did that? Raise your hand if you know. If you got your hand up and you said it because it was muscle memory and she's always did it and she did it without thinking, there was no purpose, she just always opens up her screen when she gets in her car to run people. And because she has done it so many times and has become instinctive and she didn't have to think about it, she resorted to that action when she got in her car, even though she was bleeding and hurt and in pain and can't talk on the radio and can't give out shit. She used a large muscle group of lifting her arm and grabbing her computer and opening it because it was muscle memory. That's my opinion. You can disagree, but don't come here and tell me you know for fact, because then I'll just block your ass because you want to be a dickhead. All right, well, here we go. Okay, so we got the she grabs this. Looks like there's a magazine in there, correct? I see a magazine. I thought I saw no magazine later. Fucker. So we're trying to drive. We got two hands on this. But look, if you get out there and pick up your phone, you're going to get a ticket, and they're going to write you a ticket. You're going to be, well, Rick, she's a police officer, she's exempt, and she's got special I mean, look, stop the freaking car and grab your gun. You don't have to keep driving to grab your gun. This is not, again, everything she does shows me she is still in panic mode, and she is not clearly thinking. She hasn't calmed down or tried to regrasp and go, you know what? I'm freaking shot. It fucking hurts. I got to regroup. I got to control my breathing. I got to control these shakes. I got to get this adrenaline out of me, and I got to stay focused. Let me go back to my large muscle groups. Let me go back to what I'm trying to do. Let me make sure I get a good description. Let me try to stay focused. Let me keep breathing. All these things she should have learned how to do, and she's not doing any of them, which somebody's going to yell, they need more training. Oh, yeah, because if we throw money at a problem in government, it always fixes it and makes government better and more gooder. Crazy. So we got our gun across our lap. Nothing's on the steering wheel. I can't even tell if we're moving. I thought that was a speed limit earlier, but I can't really tell now. Are we still driving? Ah! Gun's on safe. Gotta have it on safe. Now she's trying to rack the round. Notice she's trying to rack the round. So she tries to do it with this one hand. I don't know if she's trained this way. Some officers do. I don't know if she has an extended charging handle. A lot of people who put scopes or red dots, you need an extended handle because you can't reach out there and grab it. She can grab this one with two hands, so she may not have an extension. That's why I like the extended charging handle. She could have grabbed that right there and gave her leverage and made it easier for her to rack this. But she doesn't have the strength because she graduated #1 at the academy because, whatever. Ah! So it doesn't look like, maybe she does have an extended charging handle, but she can't do it. Rick, she's shot, you're picking on or whatever. So she finally gets it together, uses her good hand. I don't know if that's a good hand or not. I think that might be the hand she got shot in. The other one, she lost a little finger. But she finally gets it racked. It's still on safe, and there's still a magazine in it. And there goes the magazine. I thought I saw the magazine, or I thought the magazine disappeared sometime. So she racks around. Because she racked around when the magazine was in there, she does have one round in the chamber. She's going to put the gun on safe. A problem when you pull up to scenes like this where officers and their guns are out, you need to clear the gun. I've seen guys pick up guns and start carrying them around. And I'm like, dude, you clear that? No, man, I don't want to mess with it. Well, motherfucker, you're sweeping everybody with the damn barrel and you're carrying it around like a freaking maniac, like it's unloaded. If it's freaking loaded, keep the barrel down and go put it in the fucking trunk. But they don't think, you know, cops out there, they see a gun. Oh man, I gotta secure this. Safety sallies. Let me pick this up and carry it around. I won't clear it or touch it or put my fingerprints on it, or I'll think about all that, but I won't freaking clear it to make sure that I'm not lasering everybody with a freaking round in the chamber, because this gun's gonna have a round in the chamber. I don't know if she shoots or not. I can't remember. So because she's trying to do this with a steering wheel, this is probably where she accidentally hit the mag release. Okay, the mag just came out, and I'm not sure where it came from. Did she reach around and literally eject it herself? I don't know what caused that. I think she did. Look at her grip change. I think she reached around and actually dumped the mag, because the mag release is on the other side. I think she reached around and dumped the mag. Again, panic, not thinking, muscle memory, poor. This is lack of training on her part. Not more training, but training to where she hasn't learned not to release the freaking mag. So now it's not even really on fire, which is why I tell people I don't like this on fire, on safe, on fire, on safe. I don't know if this gun's going to fire or not when the safety is not completely on fire. It may not disengage and let the sear fall so the gun can fire. So, but again, fine motor skills deteriorate in a crisis, deteriorate under fight or flight, deteriorate when you're losing blood and not in control. This is a fine motor skill. Well, Rick, if you can pull the trigger, then it's just a... Shut up, you freaking people that just want to come here and argue. Now, I'm watching this whole video, and the first one I didn't see. I said, I thought there was a magazine there. Maybe I just, you know, visually added it. But I did see it. And now I'm sitting here like, I watched the whole other video, and I'm like, why is she doing all this with a mag? She doesn't keep a mag in her freaking gun? Got all these fancy toys and tricks and carries it and doesn't train with it enough to set up good muscle memory. She knows how to open her computer screen when she gets in the car without thinking. But she doesn't know how to keep a mag in the gun or to put it on fire. Rick, you're picking on her. Shut up!
Did the vehicle pull over?
See, there was no update. How long has this been going on and nobody's getting update? What's your status? Status update. Are you still behind? Well, I mean, what's going on out there? Give us something. Keep the person talking.
Affirmative. Driver is standing outside with his hands up. Driver standing outside with his hands up. Stand by 10-3 air.
You notice how she pauses when she stops talking, and she talks before she puts the radio up to her face. Again, this is still what I call black or panic mode. She still hasn't regrouped and got her shit together, started breathing, and said, I've got to calm down. I've got to regain control of my body functions. And she hasn't doing that. She's holding a gun. The guy's outside with his hands up. She's got the radio in one hand, and she's holding the stock of the rifle with her other hand. In no way can she defend herself right now if the guy charges her and starts shooting, because she's got a radio in one hand and this. Rick, she did a great job. She never gave up. Okay.
Vehicles outside driving, outside vehicle with the hands up. I'm showing you near the milepost 135, correct?
Affirmative. Affirmative.
See, she's talking before she even gets the mic up to key.
Spotting units is going to be at mile marker 135. Air 10-3 at this time.
And I still can't tell if she's driving because she's got her hand on the steering wheel. Why is her hand on the steering wheel? Maybe it's muscle memory. I got one hand on the radio and one hand on the steering wheel. 90% of the time that cops are driving, they're talking on the radio and driving at the same time. Maybe this is a subconscious muscle memory that she's doing here. She's definitely not doing great tactics. And I know people are going to be here cracking on me because all I got on this, man, you got to see this Arizona girl. She did great. And I went, really? She did great? The good thing she did is she stayed in a fight, she returned fire, and she chased the guy. Those are good. But there's a whole bunch here that is not great. Okay, she finally puts the car in park. And she still hasn't noticed that she doesn't have no mag. Probably doesn't know that her gun's not on fire. And she keeps holding the gun with both or either hand. And I know somebody will say, well, maybe it's because she was shot. She was driving the car, which is why I pointed it out, with two hands and was not showing signs that it was hurting and she couldn't drive. So if she can drive with two hands, she ought to be handling her freaking gun. So don't come here and try to make excuses to protect the poor little, great hero that we hired, just quality, wonderful people, and the government could save us if we had more government, more money.
Can you hear me?
Again, she talks before she gets the radio up. What the hell is she doing now? Are you kidding me? Now, I know everybody's going to be like, look, she was driving fine. She opened her computer fine.
Turn around!
I've carried a gun. I've carried an AR, M16 when I started, since I was 17 years old. I don't think it took me very long to figure out when I look at my gun whether it has a mag or not. I mean, it's just almost instinctive. Now, pistol, I get it. Accidentally drop, you may not see it, you may not notice it. But a rifle, that magazine's a pain in my ass. It's always getting caught on shit. I use it to support. I set it down on things to hold. If my rifle doesn't have a mag, you would think that would be something you would see. Again, we get back. Large muscle memory. Fine motor skills, large motor skills, panic, flight, tunnel vision, all the fight or flight things, pain. Shit happens. She's using her other hand to put the gun on fire. Did you notice that? I wonder if she's ever trained that way. Right there, she puts her gun on fire with her other hand. Why? Well, maybe she's in pain. Maybe. If I'm butts and coconuts, I don't care about maybes. I'm just pointing out things that shit happens, and great, she's staying in the fight, she's overcoming. But a gun with no mag, and she doesn't know if there's a round in the chamber. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if there's a round in the chamber, because she couldn't rack her charging handle with one hand, and when she did rack it, she was using what I call a weak grip, bending her two fingers over, because she couldn't grip the charging handle. So I don't even know if she pulled the charging handle back far enough to engage a round and load it, because it's very easy to rack the handle, and I've seen it done 1,000 times, and they don't pull it back far enough because they're in a hurry, or because they just didn't bang it to the rear, because they weren't aggressive enough. When you rack an AR, you want to be aggressive. You want to yank that freaking charging handle all the way to the rear. Same way when you rack a slide. You don't want to be pussyfooting around and sliding it back slow and riding it forward and not wanting to hurt. You need to jam that freaking slide to the rear and jam that charging handle to the rear. So I don't even know if she has a round in the chamber. And you know what? Neither does she. Rick, she's an officer. She knows. Okay. Holding, whoever taught her or thought this is okay, I mean, it just kills me that she keeps switching to her non-gun hand to where she can't control the gun, and she puts her other hand on the stock and then takes her hand off the pistol grip with no mag and no bullet. No way to use the gun if this guy... Luckily, and she's lucky. Rick, she's not lucky. She did a great job. Okay, I'm saying she's freaking lucky. Because had she been in Hood, or had she been dealing with a real meat eater that wanted to kill her, this dude would have charged and already shoot. If this dude starts shooting at her, by the time she figures out she ain't got a mag and she can't return fire, the dude's going to be on her and filling her full of holes. So she would have lost had there been somebody that wanted to kill her. She survived because the guy didn't want to kill her. Yeah, he shot at her, but he didn't want to kill her after that or she'd be dead. And I know nobody wants to admit that because she's a hero and she's going to get the Medal of Valor, and she'll be promoted now from K9 to Sergeant and Supervisor of Public Affairs and be the next chief because she did such a great job here.
K98, just for your 49, sir.
K9, go ahead.
I'm gonna just hold my position until another unit comes. I can barely move my left hand. That's where I was hit. I'm gonna wait.
Notice the shaking? She's still got the tremors. Very noticeable here. That's normal.
I can barely move my left hand. That's where I was hit. I'm gonna wait.
You were moving it pretty good when you were steering. Granted, the pain could be coming in now and the adrenaline could be pulling off.
Until further units come. He's got his hands outside his, or he's standing outside his unit. I'm too far away where he can hear me. 10-4.
I'm too far away from where he can hear me. 10-4. 10-4. What does 10-4 mean? Again, muscle memory. She's so used to saying 10-4 that she just says it without thinking.
10-4, too far away for him to hear you. Break 10 count of 516 Laguna.
Can you hear me?
Agency.
See, she's talking and she thinks she's on the PA and she's not. She's so worried about communicating with this guy that she never puts her damn hand on the gun to where she can defend herself. Why does she want to communicate? The guy's got his hands up. It's stabilized. Just stand there with your gun on him, control your breath, and stabilize it until you get cover. Why is she trying to talk to him with her hand off the gun? Because she's not thinking clearly. You're just picking on her because she shut up.
Also, we'll let APD and surrounding units know as well. DC cell as well.
I've got Laguna on PD.
10-4.
Now everybody's talking and she can't get on the radio, which really, I mean, the shit she's putting out doesn't matter anyway. At this point, she doesn't need to be on the radio. You got a guy in front of you that's armed with his hands up. Stay focused on the threat. The radio's not the threat. Putting out information ain't the threat. You got units coming. They know your location. Keep your damn hand on the gun so you can return fire. Well, Rick, she said her hand hurts. Well, she's working the damn radio pretty good. If she can squeeze the radio and pick that up, then she can be holding on to the damn pistol grip and squeezing the trigger if she needs to. Well, if she had a magazine and bullets, but that's another point. So why she turns her back on the suspects and starts dealing with a dude behind her. Maybe the guy's behind her. I don't remember. When I saw this, I was like, what the hell are you doing turning your back on a suspect and start giving directions to shit behind you? Why aren't you watching the suspect?
You go.
So now she's trying to direct someone else and tell them to go with no magazine. I wonder how many people drive by and go, hey, I wonder if that cop knows she ain't got a mag in her gun. Because most people that see this gun, it's damn near impossible to not know there's not a mag in there. Well, Rick, it could be a short mag with a 10 round in you. All right, of course it could.
Get back in the vehicle!
So now she's going to start yelling at another dude. Who's watching the suspect right now? Does anybody know? What's he doing?
I don't know. He was next to that guy that shot me.
So this unit shows up and she's pointing a gun at him and he's like, what the hell's going on? Why are you pointing at me? And so now she's like, well, he was next to the guy that shot me. So she's more focused on this guy, which turns out to be the suspect's dad.
Get down on the ground!
So this cop is here with his long gun. Like, why is this crazy woman pointing a gun at me? I thought the suspect. So now this cop is like, who's the suspect? Who's the shooter? This guy that she's pointing her gun screaming at? Or the guy she's got her back to with his hands up behind her? So this cop is confused, which is pretty reasonable to me. I'm at 45 minutes. I can make a second video, but you know what? If you want to watch it, you can, or come back, whatever. I know it's long, but there's a lot of shit in this video.
I've got one Laguna PD officer on scene with me.
So we got the suspect. We got another guy that she was yelling at. We got two people. One unit's there. She ain't got a mag in her gun, and she can't freaking use her hand, she said, but she can get back on the radio and tell them there's a unit there. Again, she's in auto mode. I got to talk on the radio because that's what I'm comfortable with. I got to lift my computer screen because that's what I'm comfortable with. I got to drive the car because that's what I'm comfortable with. What are you not comfortable with? Well, this video shows what she's not. She's not comfortable with handling her AR. She's not comfortable with recognizing a threat. She's not comfortable with staying on target and focusing on a threat. There's a lot of things she's not comfortable with, and she's going back to what's comfortable and easy and muscle memory.
One Laguna PD officer on scene with me.
So now we're both leaving. I thought the suspect was in front of her. Am I losing my mind? Is anybody watching the fucking suspect? I mean, this was just driving me nuts. I'm like, why are you going after a guy where Rick, that person was behind him and it's a bigger threat? Then you have 2 units. Somebody has to watch the guy who shot you so he doesn't sneak up behind you and put a bullet to your head, or he doesn't carjack another car and drive away. I just can't believe it. Nobody's watching the bad guy.
Hey, man. Hey. Just worry about him for now. I'll keep my eye on him. You come here. You come here.
This cop's like, what the hell are you talking about? Look, that's another thing. When cops show up and cops are shot and you see a cop bleeding and you see them acting irrational, you need to not let them be in control of the scene. You need to take control of the scene and say, look, you're shot. You're not thinking clearly. Sit here, watch this guy. I'm going to go handcuff suspect. I'm going to search him. I'm going to cover the suspect till we get multiple units. This agency that showed up doesn't seem like the swiftest potatoes either.
You come here. Come here.
So now we have one guy behind me who shot me, and now I want to call another person to me that the guy was talking to.
Put your hands behind your head.
So I'm going to tell him to get on the ground with my hand, and as he starts complying, I'm going to tell him to put his hands behind his head. Okay, maybe he can just do this while he's getting on the ground and smash his face. That'll work. Again, not thinking clearly.
That's my son.
Yeah, he fucking shot me.
So the guy says, that's my son. So now she wants to get in an argument with the dad because he shot her, instead of figuring out, you're his son. Okay, he just fucking shot me. Let me get you in cuffs. Stay here. I think she ends up leaving him no cuffs. I don't know if she cuffs him or not. I can't remember.
He did.
Yeah, no, I'm bleeding for no fucking reason.
Okay, she's upset. She's angry. I get it. I'd be pissed too. I'm shot. I'm hurt. And I'm bleeding. Okay, I get it. But my point is, if she's got time to argue with him, why is she saying she can barely move her hand, and she's talking on the radio, lifting her prosecutor screen, driving, and she's running around with a gun with no mag in it? Why can she do some things and not other things? Because people will be able to justify the good things and will want to ignore the bad things.
Put your hands behind your back.
Dumb son of mine. That arm can't work.
Lays her gun down. Doesn't really matter. It's not really loaded anyway. She might as well give it to the people and go, here, hold this so I can shoot you with my pistol.
Do you have any weapons on you?
Why do you want to get into an evaluation on the side of the road when you have a guy that shot you in front of you that you haven't handcuffed or contacted? I think subconsciously she's a little bit more fearful of the other guy, and she's trying to do what's easy. She wants to talk on the radio. She wants to stop. She's making the easy choices because, and that may not be a bad thing. I mean, if she doesn't feel confident enough to go deal with it, then she probably shouldn't go deal with him. But it's not ideal in what I call a warrior mentality or stay in the fight and don't give up mentality. Yeah, she chased him. Yeah, she shot back. Okay. Can we get over that and look at all the other things that are really not done good?
Where's your knife?
It's in my other pocket.
This guy does not look like a threat to me. He said he was sorry. He said it was his kid. He probably doesn't know what's going on. I mean, what does she think is a big conspiracy that this guy had her son pull her over and well, Rick, she doesn't know. She's just being careful and you're just picking. I wouldn't be dealing with this dude. And if I was dealing with him, I'd get a set of handcuffs on his ass and be gone. Done. I don't have time to fuck around with you. If you run off with my handcuffs, great. You get a free set of handcuffs. Run out in traffic and get your ass run over. I don't care. I'm handcuffing your ass and I'm going back to real. I don't think I would ever left the real threat. You know, I might have had one of the other units. This dude behind him, he was talking to him, keep an eye on him. Let's deal with freaking the guy that I know that shot me. Let's deal with the already known real threat instead of fucking around with a possible maybe if and buts coconut threat behind us.
It's in my other pocket.
Damn, that's a nice AR. I wonder if that comes with a mag. Rick, where are you? Whatever. So she takes the knife and throws it to where the guy can get it. I mean, she didn't like throw it out in the middle of traffic, so if he went and got it, he'd have to run over. She didn't throw it over a cliff. She tossed it 3 feet from him. How is that disarming him? Rick, she's trying, and you're not giving her any credit.
Get up.
So she doesn't handcuff him. She rolls him around, orders him to the ground, orders him hands behind his head, hands behind his back. Where's the knife? Throws the knife 3 feet from him. Now get up.
Idiot, son. I'm so sorry, man.
Sit right there.
He says, I'm sorry. He doesn't know what his kid did. Parents are always apologizing for the kid. This guy's going to still be saying, he was really just getting it. He just got out of drug rehab. He was about to enter doctor school and his whole life was changing around. I can't believe he did it. He's such a good kid. Of course he's going to say that.
Sit right there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't know where I threw your knife, but don't move.
I'm not gonna move.
I don't know where I threw your knife. I was all concerned and I came back so I could avoid the real bad guy. And I came and fucked around with you for I don't know how long for whatever reason so I could throw your knife 3 feet from you and yell at you because your son shot me. Does anybody find that reasonable? I mean, somebody's going to be here saying you're picking on. People, how is that reasonable, effective? How does that help the situation? Now I'm going to point at you because I can, because I don't like you males anyway. So here we go. And we leave him. Perfect. He's got a knife. I didn't handcuff him. I wasted all this freaking time. And I leave him. Are you kidding me? Rick, she's been shot. You're being mean.
Let's move forward.
So these cops are still back here covering at a position. I'm not sure why. He's got him with a long gun covered. I get it. Good position for him. I don't know if he's by himself. I'm just kind of going along because I can't remember when I watched this a while ago. I don't know if I watched the whole thing or I think I bumped through it a lot. So this guy's standing here. I'm okay with this. If there's 2 units, I'm not okay with this. If there's 2 guys and a guy's out there with his freaking hands up, we're moving up and handcuffing him. I'm going to cover him and you're going to handcuff, or you're going to cover and I'm going to handcuff. But I'm not going to stand here with 2 freaking units behind a freaking car door 40 feet away from a guy that just shot a cop. That's just not me. Rick, you don't know. You just think you're perfect. I'm just telling you what I would do. Someone else will say, this is a great technique and we should just stand here all freaking day till we get 40 other government officials out here. Whatever. She's running next to traffic a lot. She's not really aware of her surroundings. She's still kind of in tunnel focus. The best thing she probably did was run from the dad that she harassed for no reason and threw his knife 2 feet away from him to keep her safe. And she ran back to the car. Using that adrenaline, that large adrenaline pump in her large muscle groups and burning that up is probably the best thing she did to help her get back into, my heart rate's going to go up. It causes me to breathe. I'm going to get rid of some of that adrenaline that may take away the shakes. I'm using that adrenaline for something instead of just sitting there making me kind of overreact, trying to get me to where I get the shakes, etc. Probably the best thing she did was run. Rick, whatever. So we get in a car and we drive forward. I don't know how far they are from this guy if they got to drive forward to him.
Put your hands up.
She says it before she grabs the mic. I don't know if she's talking on the PA. I don't know if she expects him to hear him on the traffic in her car through the windshield where she has to drive to him. Is she talking to him or is she talking to the radio to get to the PA? I don't know.
Put your hands up.
responding tribal police. Oh, that's why I was like, man, these cops don't seem like they know what the hell they're doing either. It's the tribal police. Okay, I get it. Rick, why are you picking on tribes? You're anti-Indian. I'm not. Indian, feather, not dot. I'm not anti-Indian. I'm just telling you. Tribal police tend to only handle things on the reservation or on the federal controlled casino, whatever it is. They don't get out with a lot of crime because a lot of people don't go there to do crime because it's usually a federal offense and they don't want to mess with the feds, so they end up staying off, and they usually only deal with other drunks or, you know, just regular shit that isn't really like this. Who the hell taught this guy to take a two-handed grip with a handcuff in the hand and a gun in the other hand? People, this is a horrible, horrible supportive position. Whoever's training these tribal police should have their training card taken away. Because this is just absolute. Nobody was taught to hold a freaking set of handcuffs while you hold your gun and you're approaching. The purpose of a two-handed grip is to stabilize your other grip, your primary hand, and to give you a better control of the recoil in case you have to fire, to stop limp wristing, etc. You can't do that if you're resting your hand on your wrist. This is worse than the cup and saucer method that they used to teach. So when I saw this, I was like, who the hell is this Yahoo? And not Yahoo, yeah, whatever. Really? Guy's compliant, got his hands up, prone his ass out, walk up, grab his hand, have somebody cover and handcuff him. What the hell is... See, the reason why these guys are standing around, because I don't think they know what to do. So they're looking at her as the highway patrol, the state police, the better trained, the higher authority. We'll look at her and let her tell us what to do because we don't know what to do. And that was my opinion when I got, damn, no cop can come here and kind of take charge of the scene and help this girl out. So for her getting help, she doesn't seem like she's getting a lot of help. So I get it that she's kind of on her own and getting hung out. She got hung out by dispatch. She got hung out by the supervisor listening to monitor the radio. And she got hung out by the cops that responding. But whatever.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Put your right hand, reach to the back of your shirt. Lift up your shirt. Turn around.
Lifting up the shirt, turning around. We want to look to see if he has a weapon hidden that he's going to draw. He's complying. Getting on your knees with your hands behind your head is pretty tough. If you don't think it's tough, why don't you try it sometime? And if you try it, make sure you do it on hard concrete or gravel area, because I want to see when your knee hits that ground on how easy it is. Now, if you're young and thin, it may be a little bit easier. This guy's big overweight. To get down on a knee with his hands, that freaking hurts. And when you start making people do things that hurt, they're less likely to comply. So I don't care how a guy gets on the ground. I just want him on the ground. I don't care if he does a handstand, then puts his legs down. I don't care if he jumps rope to the ground. I don't care if he slimes and does a belly flop in the pool to the ground. I just want him on the ground. Cops want to get caught up in this. Put your left hand forward, right hand behind. With your left hand, reach up and pull your shirt. And I think this guy even did that. With your right hand, what do I care what hand he uses? Pull your freaking shirt up and turn around. Get on the freaking ground. I don't care how you do it. Just get on the ground.
Cross your ankle. Don't move, man. Keep looking straight.
Now, normally I wouldn't move cover until he's proned out. I would stay behind cover and make sure he's proned out. Proned out is a great position. The reason why we want them proned out is you get their arms and legs out. You can tell what compliance level they're at. Plus, when somebody's got their hands straight out, it's very, very hard for them to move. You'll see their shoulders. You'll see their arms bend. You'll see their weight shift. You'll see their knees come forward. It's very hard to make any type of movement when you're proned out without giving indicators to the person watching you, which is why you want the guy proned out. So if he tries to move or does something, you're going to have more reaction time. Their lag time is going to be shortened because you can tell it's going to take him longer and more effort, and he's going to have to send you good body signals that he's about to move, get up, turn, or do something, and you'll be able to react quicker. That's why you want him proned out.
Stay right there.
So this guy obviously put his gun away. I'm assuming there's someone else there with their gun. This guy looks like he hasn't put handcuffs on anybody, but maybe in training session. He seems real unfamiliar and confident with the handcuffs. He's struggling. He almost seems like he's shaking.
And they're back. And there's another one down.
See, when you get a guy like this, he just shot a cop. I don't want to be dealing with a guy that's sitting up. He's on his knees. Once you get that one handcuff on him, if he spins around, now he's got a weapon and he can hit you in the head. He can swing his elbow around and knock you out in the jaw. I want a guy proned out. He can't do any of the things when he's prone. That's why felony stops are trained. You prone people out. This is a felony stop. This guy should be proned out. I don't know who's training cops these days, but every video I see, I'm just like, none of these guys got basic felony stop procedure or training. It's just crazy.
Anybody else in the truck?
Just my pet cat and the gas is on, that's all.
Where's the gun?
Sitting on the center console.
Sitting on the console?
This guy's very polite for shooting at cops. I got to give him credit. I mean, maybe he washed out of doctor school because he couldn't handle a scalpel well, but he learned manners in doctor school because he seems very polite.
Yes, sir.
Okay, get up. Let me lock
My
him.
pants are falling down.
Huh?
Sorry, my pants are falling down, sir.
So this guy, the tribal police, wants to double lock the handcuffs. Yeah, we're trained to do it, but you know what? You just shot a cop. I wouldn't give a shit about double locking. I'm more concerned about patting down your pockets to make sure you don't have the gun on you that you shot the cop with, because I already know you're willing to shoot. So I want to make damn sure you don't have any other weapons on you. They don't even search the dude.
Okay, hold on.
You notice you don't hear the canine officer at all? Where is she at and what's she doing? If she was here, I guarantee you she'd be yelling. I think later on she says, I didn't want to contact him or be around him. I think she's subconsciously scared of this guy. She doesn't want to get a girl. She doesn't know that she's kind of a little bit in shock, maybe a little post-traumatic stress here, that she's like, he already shot me. I want to avoid him, which is why I think she went after the father and killed and burnt time and did shit and kept herself busy with the father so she wouldn't have to attack this guy. I don't think that she was really thinking clearly like other people are going to say. That was very smart of her not to go because she was angry and she might have done something. That was a very calculated, methodical decision that she thought out and made very consciously and showed that she was in control. I don't believe that for a freaking second. I think she's scared to get it behind the guy.
Go. Who else is in the truck?
So maybe that's the female here. I don't know.
Nope, just my pet cat.
I mean, the guy could have looked at her and said sorry. I mean, could have at least apologized. What's up with that?
I'll do everything you want me to.
There's a dog in there.
So she had to pull forward in her vehicle. This guy walked from here all the way to here with his hands up for a long time. I mean, this guy was not trying to kill her or after her, or she would be dead. And anybody that says different, I'm sorry. She got lucky. And I know nobody wants to say that a woman gets lucky because they're always smart, they're always right, they're always wonderful, and they always make the right, perfect decisions. And if you say anything different, you must hate women. But I'm telling you, this girl's lucky. In my opinion.
Keith! You want me to put him in your unit? In here?
Dude, these cops come here, arrest a dude that just shot her, and you want to put it in her. She probably, I can't believe dispatch hasn't got an ambulance here. I mean, an ambulance could have freaking restocked his truck, stopped for gas, and still been there. I mean, there's no ambulance here for the officer. The scene isn't stabilized. I'm not hearing any radio traffic on why there isn't more highway patrol, why there isn't an air unit, why there isn't at least an ambulance staging within a mile away so they can get there to give the officer aid. This whole thing just screams incompetence to me.
Okay. Stay right there.
Yes, sir.
Don't move.
Yes, sir.
You have a dog in there? You have a dog in there?
Oh, I'm a canine. I get to run around, but I leave my dog at home. Rick, maybe your dog was sick. Maybe. All right, whatever.
Can you put him in your unit? I don't want to deal with him right now.
Okay.
Okay, can you put him in your vehicle? I think that was a good move. She said, I don't want to deal with him, But you notice she's moving her hands and she's moving fine, like she's not in pain. But earlier she was like, I can't control my gun. I can barely move my hand. I don't see that now.
Have a dog in there?
No, it's on the other side. Can you put him in your unit? I don't want to deal with him right now.
Okay, all right. Let's go.
See, any competent cop who has been around a little bit and has any street savvy, you would never ask the officer that was shot by a guy if you want me to put him in your vehicle. I mean, I just can't even imagine that question was asked. But again, I was kind of like, damn, who are these cops that showed up? When they said they're tribal police, again, these guys, you got to figure they're almost like paid security guards. They don't deal with a bunch of stuff, so they got little or no experience. It would be kind of like, you know, Ass having tribal police on his channel to show and train other cops. They would both have about the same experience. Well, actually, tribal police have more experience than him. But I digress. So that says Laguna. Is Laguna a tribal police? I thought Laguna, when I saw that, I thought that was a police department.
Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Stay there, don't move.
Yes, sir.
I'm putting you in a cage with a door and you're handcuffed. Don't move. What happens if I move? What happens if I move? What are you going to do? Well, see, these standard kind of comments that cops do sometimes, it just makes no sense. But, okay. Again, this cop doesn't have a lot of experience either.
Move over a little bit.
What's this button right here? Is that like a door release? Or maybe that's, he had his finger on there. Did he pull the seatbelt from there? Maybe that's a seatbelt holder. I don't know. Did I miss that? What's he doing there? Doesn't look like seatbelt's connected. Why is he messing with that? Somebody help me out on that. There's some new secret police gizmo gadget, locking the door, automatic, whatever. Maybe it's the don't move button. When he presses that, the guy can't move.
Move over a little bit. You don't have anything in your pockets? What's that in your pocket?
Wallet.
Go ahead and step back out. I need to search you first.
Yes, sir.
Guy's got a guy who shot a cop and handcuffed him. Gets him all the way to the car and has not searched him yet. Now, granted, he caught it. If he was my trainee, I'd be like, dude, what the hell are you doing putting somebody in a car without searching them? You never put somebody in a car without searching them. Why? Granted, you pulled him out and you're searching him, but that was a dumbass move to put a guy in a car. Why didn't you search him as soon as you handcuffed him? You've been handling him for the last 5 damn minutes, and he could have been armed. He just shot a fucking cop, and now we're on the side of the road, and you're going to let him freaking get your gun or his gun that he's got hidden because your dumbass didn't search him. If you do that shit again, I'm going to make you ride in the back of the fucking car handcuffed. I mean, that's just freaking stupid. I'd be all over my trainee if he did that. Rick, you're mean. Well, no, I taught people to survive. I taught them lessons they needed to learn so they didn't do stupid shit like this and end up dead.
Turn around.
Yes, sir.
Anything in your pocket's going to stick me, hurt me, poke me.
You should not be.
A little late now. Shit, you've been handling for 20 minutes. If he wanted to poke you, stick you, or hurt you, he could have done that. You haven't searched him in all the damn time you've been covering him. Now you're going to ask questions? Again, muscle memory, routine. He always asked that before he searched, so he asked it this time.
Okay, spread your feet.
Is he searching with something in his hand? He's got a damn pin in his hand. You don't search with something in your damn hand. That's how you miss shit. You squeeze around, you're looking for sharp objects. If you're holding a damn pin or something sharp, it's going to make you miss something. Who the hell is training these guys? I can't believe the shit I see on these videos.
You said your wallet's in here?
Yes, sir.
This pocket, this pocket.
Upper pocket, sir.
Anything else?
You got to ask him you just searched him and you got to ask him what pocket his wallet's in? Didn't you feel why didn't you pull his freaking wallet out when you searched him to make sure there wasn't a hidden handcuff key, a freaking razor blade or something? Why is this guy asking him where his wallet is after he searched him? I mean, the incompetence in this video, I'm just like, Rick, you're just being critical. You don't like cops. Shut up, you freaking crybaby.
What's in there?
No, not in that pocket.
Stay in that position, don't move.
Yes, sir.
Back to don't move again.
Sure. I might have pocket off
What's that?
A pocket knife and a rifle in the truck, yes.
Pocket knife in your truck?
Yes, sir, as well as a rifle.
A rifle?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and have a seat.
Yes, sir.
So she's on the phone. I don't know who she's talking to, maybe the supervisor. Again, she doesn't look like she's having a hard time holding the phone. All this, sympathy that she was shot in her hand and it wasn't her fault, it only appears when she was being incompetent with the rifle that there was a problem. Now, I don't really see a whole lot of problems. She's talking on the phone, talking on the radio, she's standing, she's not sitting down, she's not losing a lot of blood, she's not dizzy. Rick, that's because she's tough and she's woman strong. Okay.
Sit in the hand.
This guy's got to use his medical bag. He's had it in his trunk for freaking 6 years now, and it's like, gee, I get to use some of my shit. Then I can get some new shit.
Huh?
Hey, at least he's doing something, and he's trying, and I mean, she should have been stopping the bleeding a long time ago. And I mean, there's just a multitude of errors. Look, it's a chaotic scene. It can't be perfect. I get it. Everybody's going to mess up. But let me jump through this medical procedure.
No, the vehicle's not clear yet. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have another state trooper that showed up. And see, I couldn't see on whether this was just a cut from the glass or whether it was an actual shot wound. I don't know what the... I see a cut there, but I don't see a bullet hole. But oh, look at the pretty little purple watch. Oh, she got the little beads on. Little rainbow flag. This dude's rapping. Dude, I'm not a medical dude. I'm not even EMT, but I can rap a Christmas present better than that shit. What the hell? Rick, why are you... Look at this freaking mess. I mean, it's just like, oh, shit, just wrap some gauze around it. It'll be all right. Roll Charlie around, but he'll be all right. It's like we're wrapping a freaking mummy. I'm going to mummify him. And then he can't even cut the... I don't know what kind of blade he's got on this knife, but it won't even cut this paper.
Hold it.
He's gonna cut her freaking hand off trying to cut the gauze. Rick, somebody, you said that. What the hell? I mean, the comedy of errors from government that everybody keeps praising. If they only had more training and more money, and if we paid them more, they would keep us safe, and we should give up our guns because only these guys that work for government have backgrounds and are trained and know what to do. It's just so obvious that government is so incompetent, and no matter how much money you throw at them, they will never be as good as taking care of yourself. Calling them for help is just freaking crazy. Put your damn knife away before you stab it.
Sorry.
Again, I don't see a bullet hole. I see a cut. I don't know if that's from, and it doesn't look really that bad of a cut. I mean, it's not like it's hanging off. But, again, I can't move. I can't. Here we go with the mummification process. I'm waiting for her to start wrapping it right up the arm, around her neck, around her head. This dude's going to use all his gauze no matter what.
Quick fix for now.
Hey, he did something. He got some protection. I get it. He's trying to do the best he can, but okay.
Is there something in my eye, guys? This one here fucking hurts.
Yeah, you got blood. Shrapnel. You probably have some shrapnel in there.
Okay.
This guy at least blocked the traffic a little bit. I would have. This is the one time you're going to hear me say the big red truck blocking off traffic on this case would be justified. Not for freaking every fender bender banana peel on the highway shit that they use to justify more red trucks. But in this case, I wouldn't have a problem with a red truck here.
Skip traffic. 27.
Speaking of a red truck, here comes one. Rick, you're...
Laguna 810 at 55.
The video jumps here. I don't know how long passed or what happened.
No, I was down there. He took off after he shot me, and so I came after him.
I'm still not convinced that she was shot, but maybe the medical will say she actually was shot. I'm thinking she got glass shrapnel, but... Wow, state police. Those guys are good. They're really trained, man. Those guys are good. Everybody's always cracking my floorboard. This is what my floorboard looked like in my car all the time. I just throw shit over there. Nobody sits over there. It's just my little trash bin. Then I'd clean it out, you know, at the end of the shift or whatever. So before somebody cracks on her for that, I'm okay with this. Okay, here's reality setting in a little bit. She's sitting on the side of the road. She's now. Somebody should have put her in a car, set her down, give her some water, tell her it's okay, see if she wants to contact. Somebody should have been doing something. Giving an officer who's involved in a critical incident like this too much time to just sit and let the thing soak in. See, before she was doing something, she was staying busy and trying to keep active. Now she's realizing, I could have been dead. This could have been my last day. You know, this is serious. I mean, you know, they gave me this badge and I've been making this money and they told me I could do everything, and now reality's setting in and shit, I could have been killed. So her breaking down and crying, I'm okay with that. I mean, shit happens. This is a traumatic incident. I get it. Can anybody tell me where the hell an ambulance is at? I mean, you got an officer shot. Nobody, not one freaking supervisor says, start an ambulance to this mile marker where the incident happened and have it stage. I want it in the area so when we secure, we can get it there for the officer. Why isn't there an ambulance there? Rick, you just think you're perfect. It's freaking common sense. It's so easy.
Vehicle is cleared for entry purpose.
When I saw this guy walking up, I go, where the hell am I at? Back to Nazi Germany? What a Nazi SS looking uniform. You talk about intimidation and looking like Nazis. This uniform is offensive just to look at. I mean, I just can't believe. You talk about intimidating the public and looking down on you pesky citizens. This uniform says it all. Yeah. Got my strap, got my hat, got my... I'm surprised it doesn't have black boots or whatever.
You're Yeah, can I drive myself to the hospital? I've been hit in both hands.
I've been hit in both hands. I'm not sure she was hit once. But she sure doesn't want to say she shot a lot.
Ambulance.
Okay.
We're going to leave this as is where it is. He's in the back, right? Ambulance.
So, again, I'm looking at this uniform. Look at the stripes, the different colors, the strap to hold the pistol. I mean, nice bat. Man, this uniform just looks like a freaking Gestapo.
Yeah, can I drive myself to the hospital? I've been hit in both hands.
Now, no, she shouldn't be able to drive because she's probably not thinking clearly. She's going to get in an accident, and she's lost some blood, and I don't know if she's shot, and I don't know the extent. So no, you can't freaking drive. But I can get you in a freaking unit right now and get your ass to the hospital. And they don't. They stand around. No ambulance.
We're gonna get you an ambulance.
Okay.
We're gonna leave this as is where it is. He's in the back, right?
No, Laguna has him. I didn't want him anywhere near me.
Okay.
No, Laguna has him because you didn't want to get near him. But I digress. Because you're that M16 with no freaking mag in it.
One hit on your hand?
One in this hand, one, it got the end of this finger.
Okay.
If I was pulling up, I was like, why are we mummifying the officer? Why is our hands red?
How far back did the original listen?
So we have tribal police. Maybe these guys are sheriff, and we got the Gestapo. And I'm assuming she's explaining to this guy, the sergeant, that he must be state police too.
Past the top of the hill is about the 123. I hit traffic stop on it, so they should have GPS'd it.
Okay, so about the 120.
So that is good that she's thinking that when you hit a traffic stop, that GPS is where you were at. So it will be easy to find the crime scene because of that. When I was talking about throwing something out and marking it, that GPS, pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that, like hit traffic stop or make them mark your GPS. That's pretty cool.
23?
24.
Do you remember seeing anything?
Fuck, no, Sarge.
Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine. That's where the
main shooting happened, and then he took...
Seems like the audio is off what's actually happened. Maybe that's why the radio was kind of like looking like she was talking before she put the radio up.
Like I said, I started to walk up. I got to the rear, shots fired. I fell back because he hit me. I went like that. He hit me, and yeah.
That's fine. No, that's what I'm... Just get that secured over there. Let me find out what the...
Dude, this sergeant, I mean... We need to get you sitting down in a car. We need to make you comfortable. We need to have an officer assigned to you to sit with you in case you get dizzy or something else happens. We need to get you in a car, get you the hell out of here to the hospital. We need to have an ambulance here inspecting you, checking you over, checking your vital. This sergeant rolls up like, yeah, I get you were shot and everything, but I got to go by my checklist. Typical government. Go by the numbers. We got bureaucracy. We got pay. I'm surprised he's not handing her some fucking forms. Here, fill out this use of form, use of force complete because you fired your gun, and let's do that.
I think he buys that.
This is his dad.
That's his father?
That's his father.
Okay. All right. We're going to secure this all right here, but we got to find out where the second scene's at, where the actual shots were.
Dude, I get it. Secure the scene and find the second one. The first priority is to get the shot officer some medical attention or get her in a comfortable... I mean, I just can't believe what's going on here.
Yeah, it's going to be back there over the hill. About the 123, you said?
Yeah, can I shut down or...
Shut down. Go ahead.
So she asked shut down. I think that means turn off her recording. So the reason why cops want to turn off the recording, because then they can kind of relax. When they're recording, they're always thinking, oh shit, don't say nothing. Be careful. You're always thinking in the back of your mind, I don't want to say anything criminal. I got to be careful. I don't want So there's always that little voice in the back of your head, I'm being recording, which anybody does. It's not just cops. Somebody will come here. Yeah, if cops weren't doing something, they wouldn't care. Anybody that knows they're recording acts different. It's just the way it is.
About the 123, so we're going to figure that out.
Oh, fucker.
It's all right. Let me get you snap some photos real quick. Just leave your gun as is. Just give you the locks in it.
Your tactical rapping is coming off. Rick, where are you? Damn, she's got a long finger. They wrap that finger. Look how long that finger is. I got an officer who shot sitting in the car with no medical treatment yet, and I'm getting my camera taking pictures. It's good. I mean, any of these other officers who are Arizona should be doing something. I hate when cops stand around and don't do nothing in the scene. It's a freaking crime scene. You know you got to tape it off. You know you got to preserve evidence. You know you got to get pictures. Why aren't you doing something? Put out freaking yellow tape. Do something. No, man, I hate when cops show up to scene. I show up and there's 10 cops standing there. Nobody's doing shit. It's like, dude, what the And again, we got a sergeant there. He's not directing. We got cameras, so we've already got video evidence. Pictures are not that critical. We want to take a picture before we tow or before something that we find that will dictate something particular. Nobody shot here. The only thing that happened here was suspect taken in custody. And we have video on the camera. Take care of the freaking injured officer. She should be drinking water. You always want to get water when you get in these incidents. Your system shuts down and your mouth goes dry, and you want to get some water and fluids back into your system. You've burnt a lot. Your heart rate's gone up to 220. You've been sucking oxygen. You've got all this adrenaline. Get some fluids in you.
The bridge for State Road 6.
126?
Parked there when I seen him.
Okay.
So maybe a mile or two east.
Mile or two?
That is where it's going to be at. You'll find my casings on the ground.
On the shoulder? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Man, I'm not sure if I was this officer, I'd be like, you know what? I'm fucking bleeding. I've been shot. I don't know the extent of my injuries. Either somebody drive me to the hospital right now, or I'm getting my ass in my car and I'm leaving. I mean, she's actually staying around putting up a lot more shit than I would, because I'd be out of there. I don't give a shit. I'm going to the freaking hospital. If you dumbasses want to ask questions, catch me at the hospital. Write me up for insubordination later. I'm freaking out of here.
You got a service, sir?
I do.
You do? Can you call my fiance?
Yeah, what do you need? What's the phone number?
Just let her know.
What's the phone number?
So here's what she says, call her fiance, and then she gives her name. I don't know. Oh, shit, I'm getting a call. All right, I'm back. Sorry. I don't know where I was at, because in the second that I paused this, after I talked to my buddy for 30 minutes or so, I was walking up and down a driveway. I walked my 2 miles, and then I saw the horse were hungry, so I went and fed them. Then my buddy that I used to be a cop with in Vallejo called, and we bullshitted for a while, and then I finally came in. Oh, Amazon came. I had to go pick up my stuff. So it's now like 3 hours later from where I paused this, said I'd be right back. So I kind of forgot where I'm at. Let's finish this up. She's calling her girlfriend, I think. Fiance.
No. You want me to hold it for you? Are you good?
Yeah, I got it.
I called Rael.
Did you?
Give him the 49 already.
Just advise him to go clear. Let me get your kids there. Just have to let me go and find out.
A lot of people standing around doing nothing. Not sure why that is.
I'm okay. I'll let her know what hospital I'm going
What's your name? You good? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Just put Kia.
If she calls, I'll...
Yeah, just let her...
That way, we're just in security. Nah, there'd be a reason. Other side? Driver door?
All the inside of that car needs to be preserved. You need to have pictures, the blood. You got video footage, which is good, but you need different pictures on the blood. Not that it's going to be that critical in this case, because nobody died, and it's not going to end up being a murder trial. But if this was a murder trial, you need everything. On this case, not that big of a deal. You got evidence, but you know, you never know when that video evidence is going to disappear. So you still want to do a good investigation.
The Motrin?
I didn't see this. They were prescribing medicine on the side of the road for their medical degrees.
An issue, but I want to make sure that, you know.
This is a pumpkin spice latte from a popular coffee.
On this channel again. Imagine it's got fire in the title. They just freaking ads every 5 minutes.
You want to walk back over here?
Let's go. You're going to my unit, okay?
I'm doing all right.
Do you have any injuries to you?
Back of my head, maybe. On the right-hand side. On the right-hand side.
What?
There might have been an injury on
on the back hand. Right bump.
Okay, we'll get you checked out. Okay, I don't see any significant bleeding or anything.
All right.
We'll get you checked out on that. Okay, we'll go right here to mine.
Anytime you got a guy like this in custody, you always want to read him his rights right away. This is a serious crime. He's probably going to get attempted murder on a peace officer. He's looking at some serious exposure. You don't want one of these cops asking him a question or accidentally provoking an answer to a question of his guilt because you can't use it. Had you read him his rights earlier, anything he says, no problem, you can use it. You've already advised him of his rights, and they can't say, well, you tricked him. No, I read him his rights. He knew he didn't have to talk to me. If you don't do that, anything he says, are you okay? Are you, yeah, I'm hurt from where I shot the gun. You may not be able to get that in because that was solicited from the officer outside the scope of Miranda when he was obviously in custody. So you just get into muddy waters. When you arrest somebody for a crime like this, anybody, read them their rights quickly. That way you've said it, and that way you make it much harder for them to suppress anything you get later.
No, I shouldn't have anything else on me. He checked me. By all means, go ahead.
What's in here? You got
Paper towel, blow my nose. Might be a pair of headphones in there.
No blood. Okay. We'll get you checked out on those little minor abrasions or whatever you got there.
You've got a little cut right here, a little bit of glass.
Okay.
That's about it.
We'll get you checked out on this. Do your best to get up in there.
I have no idea.
Right.
This is a big dude. I don't know what he weighs. He moves around pretty good for his size and weight. I'm guessing he's going to be 3 to 350. But somebody else can guess and give me if I'm wrong. But I'm saying 350. Pretty big guy. And he moves around, kind of jumps, and does his stuff pretty well.
So this guy versus...
That's just 49? Okay.
No reason why I couldn't give her ibuprofen right now, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to...
You don't think we can?
No, we can, yeah.
The problem with giving her meds
Okay.
is if it's got any way sedative or something, it's going to cover up that they give her a blood draw because she was in a shooting. But since nobody died, unless she shot cars that were driving by when she was just spraying at the car when it was driving by in that trucker, unless someone else dies, it's not that big of a deal. But cops get caught up in getting sloppy and lazy because it's not a murder. If you treated every case like a murder, it would be way excessive and take too long for smaller cases. So it's a balancing act on how well your investigation is. In this case, the only thing we're really looking for is the guy going to get a conviction? You got video evidence. He's going to get convicted. There's not a whole lot we can do to screw that up unless we beat him up or get him to confess and can't use it or something like that. But, I mean, giving her meds after she was in a shooting before they took a blood draw, I would be a little hesitant to that. But, you know, is the ambulance going to do that if they're taking her in? I don't know.
I want to snap a few pictures of her real quick before they take her. So I know they're gonna rip her off, all her stuff. That way, let's get some pictures of how she was dressed.
That's a good point. Shows she was in uniform. The guy knew she was in a uniform. She's in a marked car. They don't want to use the excuse. I didn't know she was a cop. I saw somebody sneak up on my window when I got scared and shot.
I'm gonna get a few photos of you just how you're dressed, okay? I'm gonna get a few photos of you just how you're dressed, okay?
For photos like that after we fought with some dude. If I was bloody or I had his blood on me or I was bleeding, and you know you have to stand there and all right, turn to the left, turn around. You feel like you're being mugshotted. Then you got all these pictures later, and you're looking at, damn man, I look like shit.
Doing all right?
My fucking hands hurt.
We got the paramedics right now.
You got water in here?
Okay.
You gotta help out real quick.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Weapon?
Don't worry about your weapon there. We'll leave
Finally,
it there just for
somebody
now.
getting her something to drink. Get some fluids in her.
We'll get it.
It was in my mouth.
I thought it was hurting your hand.
No.
2, 3. Sorry.
Do we have
Where's the second?
Freaking exposure.
a unit coming up from Albuquerque? We need someone to go with her.
Selena's on her way.
Okay,
Selena.
this video still has 30 minutes to go.
Okay,
I didn't
let's
watch
go
it all.
through.
I'm not going to watch it all. I'm sure I could pick apart the... If I get enough requests for me to come back and do a second video on this, I've already spent over an hour on this one, then I'll come back and I'll do the second half. So if somebody watches this and says there's a lot of errors or I got a lot of questions or whatever, and I get enough questions, then I'll go back and I'll do an evaluation on how they did the last half. But otherwise, we'll end that there. Hopefully you got something out of it.